From Learfield, this is the Jake Diebler Show, presented by Roosters, a fun casual joint, and brought to you statewide by Encova Insurance, the American Dairy Association Mideast, and by Credit Union of Ohio on the Ohio State Sports Network, presented by the Ohio State Wexner Medical Center, the team physicians for Ohio State Athletics. Now, along with Coach Jake Diebler and former Ohio State captain Ron Stokes, here's the voice of the Buckeyes, Paul Keels.
For those who've ever had issues getting into parking spots in the Ohio State Athletic Complex, don't feel bad. The head basketball coaches just run into that too, but we are glad, Jake, that you made it in.
Well, it's good that there's must be a good crowd here for the women's game, which is great to see. So
yes, the Ohio State women's team hosting Iowa this afternoon, so you can hear that on some of our other network stations here. But yesterday, 86-83, the final, Michigan with a victory here at the Schottenstein Center over your team. Now that you've had a night to hopefully sleep a little on it, what are some of your initial thoughts about how the game played out yesterday?
Yeah, certainly frustrated with the result and disappointed in the result. They're clearly playing, really well right now. But I thought we did some really good things, specifically offensively. Thought our execution offensively was good. Even just really, in spite of a lull in the first half, there for a segment. But we didn't rebound well enough, and we can get into the whys of that, I'm sure, at some point. But we didn't rebound well enough, and ultimately didn't force them into enough turnovers and had a couple turnovers too many that led to easy buckets that in the flow of a game that is decided by 1 point all was really important.
Coach, when you look at the Big Ten, this question probably can go across the entire country, but how many teams have that type of combination of 2 7-footers with one basically being a point guard as well? Yeah,
not very, very few. It's unique, Ron, and it certainly presents problems. But it's interesting going back and watching the film again early this morning because this is all I could think about. I felt a major problem with our rebounding was we got put in rotation. And sometimes, it was our fault because we didn't communicate coverage well enough, which left 2 guys on the ball or left the ball getting to the rim, which caused our guy with size to rotate over. And now instead of having a 6'8" or a 6'9" or a 6'7" guy boxing out their big, it was a 6'2" guy. Mm-hmm. And so initially live, I thought, man, we weren't physical enough. That was true at times. But I felt like the bigger issue for our rebounding, going back and watch, is we were in rotation too many times, and some of those were self-inflicted.
And is some of the frustration with that's not been an issue? That's something you've done well?
Yeah, I think we've done it. We've done a better job lately too. It's something we've grown in, and so yeah, there's frustration in that. And we had part of the challenge, right, of their size is you have to adjust your coverage, specifically when you got 2 7-footers and ball screens, one screening for the other. And so there were moments there where that was a different thing for us that we didn't execute as well as we had been in some of our ball screen coverage, which led to the ball. But also Donaldson got to the rim a couple times, which caused us to rotate over. So, just I guess getting into the weeds a little bit of the rebounding, certainly their size was an advantage for them, but for us, we were in rotation too much.
When you look at the performance of Micah Parrish, she's been playing so well over the last 3 to 4 weeks. This is just not his game. We're 1 of 6 from the field, 3 rebounds. Was it a combination of just he had good shots, they were just not his night? Was it defense or fatigue? What are some of the reasons that you might have led to his poor performance from the field?
Yeah, well, I do think he had some great looks. Really thought he had some great looks. Not all of them were wide open, certainly, but most of those we would go back and say, hey, like we'll sign us up for that shot, right? 'Cause especially the way he's been playing. And I told him after the game, I said, hey, like sometimes you're going to have, like every once in a while you have a night like this, And he, this game was important to him, really important to him personally. And so it wasn't his night. But I also told him, like, hey, when it's not, we still need you to be an elite defender, which you can be. And I thought, it kind of just wasn't his night all the way around. Had some uncharacteristic mistakes defensively too. But there's no question in my mind that he's going to respond in a big way because he's been playing so well. And he'll bounce back for us. There's no question.
And not just to focus on what went wrong. Obviously, there were some stretches of this game where your team played at a really high level. Those have got to be some things to continue to build on.
Yeah. I mean, we scored enough to win. It was good to see. It was good to see Devin. Again, he's been becoming more and more consistent on the perimeter, which is important for us. I thought getting to the free throw line as much as we did was important for us. We certainly didn't shoot the percentage we're capable of or have been shooting. Right, but getting the free throw line was good, and having under 10 turnovers in a game that was a higher possession game was another good thing. So, yeah, there's some good stuff. It's just it's very hard for me at this time of year to like wrap my mind around the good things when we didn't get the result. I felt like we should have gotten, but the film never lies, and it certainly is true about the things you did wrong, but it is also true about the things you did right.
And speaking with Devin Royal during the former captain's dinner, he's been dealing with illness and then also injury. He felt like he was 100% or close to it. I think that had something to do with his results because he's finally been able to play minutes without any kind of restriction.
Yeah, well, he's been able to practice. Devin's tough. He's a tough young man who has, I guess been unlucky a little bit in that regard, and but he battles. He finds a way to be ready and be available. So. He's, it maybe has impacted Ron, his consistency at times, but I think he's shown multiple times to be able to play at a high level.
If you have questions for Coach Diebler, you can submit them to our Union Home Mortgage inbox at ohiostatebuckeyes.com and click on Coach's Show inbox, Union Home Mortgage. Learn about their 1% down payment program. Excuse me, at UHM.com and MLS number 2229. More of today's show presented by Roosters coming up on the Ohio State Sports Network from Learfield.
Ready?
It doesn't matter if you're playing hard or working hard. Your workout only works out if you recover right. Chocolate milk helps you recover for what comes next. It's delicious and contains the right mix of protein and carbs to help refuel exhausted muscles. From biking to bench presses, Milk's protein helps you build lean muscle and gain more from your workouts.
Ready? Recover. Repeat. Brought to you by the American Dairy Association Mideast, a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Cheers to a great day and this ice-cold Corona.
You know what would make this day even better? My grandma's carne asada.
Or your grandma here with us, making carne asada.
She does love a cold Corona.
Throw in some dancing.
Oh, we can watch the game.
I'll drink to that.
So a backyard concert with football, food, dancing, and Corona?
And your grandma.
Or we could keep it simple.
Simple is good. Want a Corona?
Thanks. Salud to the perfect day.
Corona, la vida más fina. Get your Corona at ordercorona.com. Relax responsibly. Corona Extra Beer, imported by Crown Import, Chicago, Illinois.
Hi, I'm Archie Griffin, two-time Heisman Trophy winner. The right coverage can be a game changer, both on and off the field. That's why Encova Insurance is prepared for what's next and protects what matters most to you. With independent insurance agents in your neighborhood and innovative insurance products that can be tailored to fit your unique needs, Encova Insurance is an easy win for your peace of mind. For auto, home, and business insurance, you want Encova on your team. Visit Encova.com today to find an agent near you.
Everybody knows that Roosters is a fun, casual joint with their award-winning waitstaff, great food, fun, and laughter. It's a quick stop on the way home to sit back and unwind. It's a front row seat to the big game. Roosters is where you, your family, and friends can order pizzas, sandwiches, salads, and more. And the home of award-winning wings that are fresh, never frozen, and so big you won't believe it. It's your family's other dinner table. Roosters, a fun, casual joint, and the official wing sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Hey, basketball fans, Credit Union of Ohio wants to help you score more by making life more affordable. It's time to play with a team that helps you win every day. Credit Union of Ohio's loan rates have dropped to provide affordable financing for the things you want and need. It's time to reevaluate your current loans and consider refinancing with a team that cares about you. Check out current specials and get started scoring more money at cuofohio.org. That's cuofohio.org. NCUA insured, equal housing lender.
Hi, it's Alex Johnson from the Diamond Seller. Growing up in the family business, I've seen firsthand the joy and love that comes with finding the perfect engagement ring. For over 77 years, our family's been dedicated to providing the best quality, unmatched selection, and the guaranteed best price. From timeless classics to custom designs, we have the perfect ring for every love story. Let our family help you celebrate the moments that mean the most. Visit Diamond Seller today on Salmo Road or at Easton Town Center.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. You're listening to the Jake Diebler Show, presented by Roosters on the Ohio State Sports Network. Presented by the Ohio State Wexner Medical Center, the team physicians for Ohio State Athletics.
Welcome back to our show this week, and time for our Elk and Elk Injury Report. Jake, we talked when we first went on the air yesterday. It was nice to see that you had everybody on the roster that's available ready to go yesterday. I'm sure that was a relief to you.
Yeah, it was good. It was good. It was nice too in practice the day before we had everybody, which was really good. So we're due right to have a good stretch in that regard, and it should help us here down the stretch. We can get everybody out there consistently.
Our injury report brought to you by Elk and Elk Injury Lawyers, dedicated to every client every day. Call 1-800-ELK-OHIO. Now, having said all of that, is we all know, and you know better than the rest of us, this time of year there's always aches, pains, bumps, and bruises, and all of those things, and guys just have to grind through that, don't they?
Yeah, I would imagine there's probably not a single player in the country who feels 100%. This time of year. I know I never did this time of year when I played, and that's not true. You train for it, right? Like you train for it. I mean, I think we have some guys logging some heavy minutes, and I didn't look out there and feel like we looked more tired than the opponent or anything like that. I think our guys have really worked hard to be able to play this way, and but yeah, it's those days of feeling 100% are for the off season.
Yeah, I know that from time to time, especially when it comes to Bruce Thornton, right before the media timeout, you try to get him that little extra break. Obviously, he played the entire game. What were some of the reasons why you couldn't get your star guard out of the ball game?
Well, there's such a level of trust, and I think we had some turnovers from some other guys that it just felt like we couldn't waste any possessions, and we needed to keep the game because we felt like we were chasing them, for majority of the game, and that was probably the main reason. But that being said, I think we got to continue to use those kind of dead balls before the media, right, to be able to give him a quick game time break, but extended, break with the media timeout too.
We'll start with some of our Union Home Mortgage inbox questions. Greg in Pomeroy, what is your philosophy in end-of-game scenarios like yesterday? Down 2 at home, try to get the 2 to tie, or go to overtime, or try to get the 3 to win the game at the end, or does the opponent dictate that?
Yeah, that's a great question. I'm never going to pass up an open 3 from a good player. I think I like playing to win in that situation. However, right, knowing the success we had getting to the free throw line and our ability to get in the paint, there's particularly down the stretch, we didn't want to just run a play for a 3 specifically in that. We ran one. If you saw the 3 Parrish hit in the corner, that was a specific design for a 3. Our guys executed it perfectly.
Mobley driving baseline and kicking out.
Yes. Perfect execution. I felt in that moment we were down 4, that to give us a chance to win, go for the 3 in that moment, shrink it to a 1-point game. Right now we're fouling, and so that was the mindset there. Great. At the end, play got botched a little bit when Mobley got ended up on the floor.
Yeah, he got pushed a little
bit. When he ended up on the floor, so we were creating, there was a look for him coming off a screen initially. That was no longer there. And then that kind of got us a little, jumbled up. However, we ended up with kind of the matchup we wanted eventually with the space we liked. And, I mean.
Yeah, you got Wolf guarding
Thornton. Correct. Which we had success on with that matchup at times in the game. And, yeah, so to answer the question, if we could have got a good look from three, which there was an option of that, we would have taken that. But, didn't want to just put all our eggs in that basket of three or bust, and got to the next part, which was to drive the paint there and get against that matchup.
So basically you have two guys who have the ability to make plays, right? You got John Mobley Jr. that can hit the three, he can drive. You got Bruce that can do both. So the mindset coming out of that timeout is if the wide open three's there, take it. But if it's not, we got the potential matchup with a big guard and a smaller guard.
Yep. Yeah. So that was, felt like getting those two involved in an action. It was Mobley screening for Thornton, and giving them a chance to screw that up, which, we've had success kind of involving those two in action throughout the course of the season. And then getting the matchup, and then we were actually, felt like we got the ball to the paint, got a great look, that I would, if you were to tell me before that play we were going to get that look, I'd say sign me up for that every time, right? So, but yeah, we wanted the threat of Mobley and Thornton combined to create some adversity for the defense initially.
And I'm sure the fans listening know, but those are the kind of situations you guys drill over and over again, whether it's that or something else.
Yeah, we do. I'm a big believer in, I talked about it a lot before the season, how every game in Big Ten play, specifically, usually comes down to the last 4 minutes. So we preach in our program, be your best late. We practice it all the time in a lot of different ways, special situations, end of game plays, shooting when you're tired, free throws when you're tired, like practice it a lot of different ways. So we've anticipated being inside. I wish I wasn't as right as I thought, because we've certainly had our fair share. But it's really, you get to that point, you want to get a good look and give yourself a chance, and it felt like we were able to do that. And our guys deserve a lot of credit because we haven't always executed. Right, go back beginning of the year, we haven't executed those end of game scenarios at our best. We did a much better job again, and I go back to that action where Parrish got to three. I mean, we've done a much better job here lately.
Coach, anytime you make a substitution, especially in the front line, there's two ends of the floor, offense and defense. And we asked a question a little bit after the game about, Aaron Bradshaw starting the second half, Sean Stewart playing in the front line. What went into, Ivan Nagovin, whether the minutes he may or may not have gotten and so forth?
Yeah, and, I think hindsight, right, there was a segment, I believe it was in the first half, where we went to kind of give Ivan an opportunity to utilize his size, and Golden went out. Wolf was now basically their big, their backup big was a stretch big who shot a lot. So just that kind of caused a missed rotation that he's been getting in the first half. I just didn't feel like, we could get the advantage on the other side, that maybe we would be giving up on one. So, and then at that point, as we kind of got rolling into the second half, I felt like Sean was doing a much better job in there, rebounding, and, it was more about trying to keep us out of rotation, which, was a big issue for us in the rebounding point. So that was just, a little bit of the reason why it was kind of that specific rotation in the first half comes to mind, Ron, regarding Ivan, because, we got great belief in him, and he's had some really good moments. He's got to continue to get better, certainly, and he will. He works really hard, but and I think we got to utilize his size, certainly, And at times he's done a good job with it. He's protected. There doesn't always get a block, but his presence in there protects the paint, protects the rim.
You're talking about Aaron Bradshaw. If we go back to the Wednesday game with Washington, what he gave you there, is that kind of what his picture is?
I sure would love it for it to be that way every time. I think it's, some of our young front court guys have just been fighting for consistency, right? And certainly fouling was a major issue for him last night, and a couple of those were debatable, but you just gotta adjust, and you just gotta be a little more technically sound, and I think that hurt us. I feel like when we talk about playing bigger, I feel like the best way to do that is with him and Sean together, kind of how we started the season. I don't know that we really are ready to play Yvonne and one of those two guys together necessarily. We haven't had a lot of opportunity to work on it, but certainly got to try to figure out some ways here to get creative down the stretch. But I think Aaron's foul trouble prevented us from being able to go to that, which we had actually had some time to practice a little bit, and we're planning on using it in this game, and it impacted our ability to do that.
So when you look at Aaron Bradshaw, clearly one of the things he's going to need to work on in the offseason is putting some girth on. When he's dealing with that type of physicality, Coach, is that one of the things where it's a tough assignment for him? He's trying to make up for the lack of size in terms of weight, and it leads to some fouling situations? Yeah,
I think that's fair. It's something we've certainly talked about in the preseason about him getting stronger and getting heavier, and I think he's made some growth there, but still has a ways to go. And I also think one of the things that he and I have talked about is trying to get him to front more, because I think once you get behind some of the guys in this league that deep, and he one of the things he struggles with at times, Ron, is he returns to his man and returns behind him.
Yep.
And he probably most of his life was able to get away with that, right?
Yep.
So it's a habit thing. We're working on getting him to return to front. Then as that guy works you out, now you can get behind, right? Kind of spin off. Now your guy's catching the ball further away from the basket. So there's some technical things that could be done better, and he's got to grow in that quickly, right? Because if you keep returning that low when a guy's down almost in the charge circle, at that point, it doesn't matter if you got an extra 25 pounds or not.
Yeah, that's true.
You got a tough time stopping people. But no, those are some of the details that I think with his lack of experience that comes out, and he's just got to continue to get better at it.
So it goes back to, we're 26 games in, but he missed a number, including practice, so he's still trying to make up ground in some of that regard.
Yeah, it hurt him. There's no question, but I think he's had enough time back now where we need to see some we need to see more better execution of that, right? Yep. It's not going to be perfect because we're talking about breaking like lifelong habit, right? That he's always just been bigger, taller, and been able to just kind of run and get by the rim and protect it, So, but I think he's trying. He's trying. He's working. He's spending extra time. So we'll get there. We'll get there.
The Roosters Foundation helps raise over $1 million each year for local charities and organizations, and is the official wing sponsor of your Ohio State Buckeyes. The Roosters Foundation is donating $25 for every foul shot the Buckeyes make at home this season to BAM, Beyond Ability Matters. BAM provides kids and young adults with neurological disabilities the opportunity to live their best lives. More with Coach Diebler when we continue on the Ohio State Sports Network from Learfield.
Coors Light presents To Chill or Not to Chill, when your friend skips your favorite song on the playlist. End of friendship. Or choose chill because that song lives rent-free in your head anyway, and you're planned ahead by bringing Coors Light to the party. And the sound of that ice-cold can cracking open was music to your ears already. Coors Light. Choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2024 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
There's one medical team in Central Ohio skilled enough to care for your favorite Ohio State team, and Buckeyes everywhere. The Ohio State University Wexner Medical Center is your choice for the most highly specialized orthopedic and sports medicine care. Our surgeons, physicians, and physical therapists have access to the most advanced treatments and innovative recovery approaches to get you back in your game. Because on or off the field, our team is your team. The choice for your orthopedic care is clear.
Hi, this is Paul Keels. This Buckeye season, don't let a broken windshield ruin your game plan. Safelite Auto Glass makes it easy to get your windshield fixed with their mobile glass shops all over Central Ohio. They can come to you anywhere, giving Buckeye fans more time for game time. OH? Man, I love that. Schedule at safelite.com. Safelite Auto Glass is a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Safelite repair, Safelite replace.
Life is more fun with a pal. So is pizza. So check out Donato's new $5 Pizza Pals menu. Order any large pizza and add on your choice of a sub, salad, wings, a 10-inch pizza, and more for just $5. It's the new $5 Pizza Pals menu from Donato's. More toppings, more flavor, more fun. Donato's. Gotta love more.
Every game, every season, Buckeye Nation comes together to support Ohio State basketball. The Buckeyes make their fans proud by giving it their all on the court. Their hard work, determination, and resilience embody what our state is all about. Every client, every day, Elk & Elk works tirelessly to support the great people of Ohio. A consistent winner in the courtroom, we get injury victims the compensation they deserve. Call 1-800-ELK-OHIO. Elk & Elk, proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Giant Eagle is teaming up with Cheez-It, Pringles, and Coca-Cola to give one lucky Buckeye fan a VIP basketball experience. Go to ohiostatebuckeyes.com/Giant Eagle to enter for a chance to win 4 tickets with parking to the March 4th home finale against Nebraska, a Buckeye prize pack, a $200 Giant Eagle gift card, and a trip to the head coach's radio show. Enter today at ohiostatebuckeyes.com/Giant Eagle for a chance to win. Brought to you by Giant Eagle, Cheez-It, Pringles, and Coca-Cola. Go Bucks!
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. Now back to the Jake Diebler Show, presented by Roosters on the Ohio State Sports Network. Presented by the Ohio State Wexner Medical Center, the team physicians for Ohio State Athletics.
Union Home Mortgage is the official home lending sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. Learn about their 1% down payment program at UHM.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS number 2229. And welcome back to our show this week with Ohio State coach Jake Diebler. The Buckeyes get ready to host Northwestern on Thursday. We'll go back to our Union Home Mortgage inbox questions. Ben in Powell asking, who is the go-to guy when the team is in a mini 3-4 minute scoring drought, and do you have a special play to just get a score at the end of the drought? The open player?
No, it's a good question, and you know, I just, it makes me smile a little bit because when I first started in coaching, one of the guys I worked with said at one time, he's like, we need to run the play that guarantees us a layup, and in my mind I'm thinking like, well, yeah, that, you know, it'd be great. But I think, you know, in specifically, if you go back to the last game, they were running a zone to man, right? Mm-hmm. And we got some really good looks. They weren't all good, but in that stretch, we got some really good looks, like really good looks. And sometimes that's what happens. I think when you're in a stretch like that, you don't want to settle for jump shots, especially contested jump shots. You want to get the ball in the paint first. We didn't do a good enough job of that, right, in that stretch. But as far as our go-to guys, I mean, I think I trust certainly, you know, Bruce and John Mobley, you know, to be able to make something for us. I trust Micah to be able to step up, make a shot, Devin to be able to do that. I mean, those four have really kind of led the way for us. So I don't know that it's necessarily one guy. But we do have, you know, I think as a coach you can help your team in that setting by running stuff they're comfortable with, you know, things that they've had success with earlier in the game. You know, trying to maybe simplify it, maybe less kind of your most complex actions, more of your simple actions to try and help them. So,
and optimum that it's more than just one person?
Yeah, I think it is, because, as we saw last night, they started to deny Bruce's catch at times, when they were transitioning from zone to man, or even just in their mans in the first half. So you got to have more than one option, and we do. I mean, I feel confident in those 4 guys, absolutely.
Coach, if you're in this business long enough, you're going to have situations where you're going to be coaching against guys who are friends and that you grew up with in the business. But now, because of the landscape of college basketball, you're going to have a situation where you're coaching against your former players. In this particular case, it was Roddy Gale Jr. So talk about some of those emotions of a guy that you helped recruit and coached, and now he's on the other side.
Yeah, it's interesting, Ron, because I think if it were someone other than, our rival, it maybe would have been a bigger deal to me. But I just, this game, this rivalry to me was bigger than that storyline.
Okay.
So if he was at a different school, maybe it might have, I don't know, might have just impacted kind of my approach to that game or thoughts about that game leading into it. However, when I saw Roddy before the game, we had a hug and, a quick word, and I think it was good to have that moment before the game, but after that it was, back to, all business, right? But it's hard. I mean, and again, he was someone who we were really close with as a family. I mean, my kids knew him, and he was at my house a lot, and, when he was struggling, like, I was there for him. So when you go through stuff like that, you become close with people and families, and, it doesn't necessarily change, I think, how great some memories you have. The dynamic of the relationships change, especially when you're, in a rivalry. But, I still got love for, he and his family, because that was real. That wasn't like a made-up thing when he was – I mean, that stuff's so important to me. And, I think you got to maintain that, even though now, guys, like, there's a mobility in college basketball unlike we've ever seen.
Mm-hmm. On that subject, and you talked about this a little bit in your press conference after the game yesterday, and I know you kind of said it's maybe for discussions further down the road, but with Michigan and with a protected rival, being able to see them twice, if you would just kind of talk about what the guys in the press room asked you about last night.
Yeah, so when we were out in California at the head coaches meetings, and there's a lot that goes in. It's my first one, which was like, I mean, you got Hall of Fame coaches right in the room, and congratulations to Tom Izzo, by the way, who just broke the all-time Big Ten wins record. So when we left that, and we were kind of, they talked about protected rivalries, I specifically asked the league, like, why is Ohio State and Michigan not protected? And, there were a few different, I think, thoughts to why that wasn't the case. And so then I approached Dusty and said, hey, like, what do you think about this? Because I'd like to push for this. And, I think he was behind it too. So, then I said, hey, I've talked to him, and, we'd like to really take a hard look at this, because I just think what an unbelievable atmosphere last night. And our fans deserve that game. I want that game, and I think it's we should have that game in Columbus every year, and we should be going up there every year. I believe. I think that's what makes rivalry games are great for all the obvious reasons. So it's great that I think he's on board too, and we'll see what happens with it. But we're hopefully we can get that done.
Let's go again to our Union Home Mortgage inbox list of questions. Tom and Eaton, we sometimes hear the term going under screens. What exactly does that mean?
Well, going under screens can mean a couple different things. I think if you're specifically talking about ball screens, right, you do that at times to someone maybe who you think is a better driver than a shooter, or you're essentially when the screener comes up to set the screen on you go on the low side of it, the side between the ball and the basket to try to get around and to try to limit, help and things. And when you talk about off-ball screens, it's a similar concept, right? Screen happens, okay, let's say guys in the corner, screen comes from the elbow area or slot area to the corner, right, going under, or you hear us say, whip the screen at times, like, you go low side, again, don't chase over outside of the screener and the rim, you go low side between the screen and the rim, and you do that to try to, protect against the ball getting closer to the rim and getting to the paint. You chase or go over the screen, right, especially with the threat of shooters and guys who are capable. And then sometimes, depending on your coverage and how the other pieces fit, you still may chase because that's what your system and the foundation of your defense is built for, because it forces guys into help. Because if you go under screens, now they can bump it back, and now you have no help on the other side. Your help is all if you force them to use the screen. So does that answer the question at least a little bit?
Absolutely.
What helps in that, as you continue to recruit guys that can play and defend multiple positions, because now you just switch. Yeah. You got 6'8" with a 7-foot wingspan.
Yep. That's right.
You switch, baby.
That's right. Switching is switching when used correctly can be a real weapon.
Yeah.
But it's a challenge.
Yeah.
Because of the communication, that's required, and the early communication and recognizing actions and recognizing who's involved in the switch, and then you got counters to that. Like it's complicated, but when used properly, switching can be really effective.
We'll talk more when we continue with our weekly show presented by Roosters on the Ohio State Sports Network from Learfield.
When it comes to your cancer diagnosis, the choice for your care is clear.
And when you choose the James at Ohio State,
you're opting for care from a highly specialized team dedicated to treating one type of cancer, yours.
Where more than 1,700 scientists are working on new treatments and new hope for every form of cancer.
You're making the choice to have the most advanced treatments, many of which were developed right here.
For your cancer care, the choice is clear. The James at Ohio State.
Hi, this is Paul Keels. This Buckeye season, don't let a broken windshield ruin your game plan. Safelite Auto Glass makes it easy to get your windshield fixed with their mobile glass shops all over Central Ohio. They can come to you anywhere, giving Buckeye fans more time for game time. OH? Man, I love that. Schedule at Safelite.com. Safelite Auto Glass is a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Safelite Repair, Safelite Replace.
Union Home Mortgage knows Buckeye fans never leave Ohio State behind. We've helped millions of first-time home buyers get into their dream home through our 1% down payment program. Put as little as 1% down, and UHM tosses in up to 2% on the house. Learn more at UHM.com or call 877-846-4968. Union Home Mortgage Corp is an equal housing opportunity lender. NMLS number 2229. UHM will contribute up to 2% down, no greater than $2,000 towards a 3% down payment. Home buyers responsible for the remainder of the down payment. This offer is available for the purchase of a primary residence only. For full terms and conditions, visit UHM.com. For more than 35 years, Hyde Park Prime Steakhouse has been known by Buckeye Nation as serving the best steaks in the city. Our thick-cut, aged steaks have been a staple in Columbus with 3 locations in Upper Arlington, Dublin, and downtown. Hyde Park is proud to introduce our newly added wine room at the downtown Columbus location, where a new elegance in dining will surround you. And coupled with live entertainment every weekend, Hyde Park will be the perfect setting for any occasion or the perfect night out. Hyde Park is a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. Go Bucks!
At Kroger, an annual Boost membership just got even better. Now you can choose from Disney Plus with ads, Hulu with ads, or ESPN Plus on us when you sign up. Plus, enjoy unlimited free delivery, double fuel points, exclusive offers, and free items. Sign up for a Boost membership today. It's an easier way to save, including new streaming options to relax with while we deliver your groceries. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Restrictions apply. See site for details.
Everybody knows that Roosters is a fun, casual joint with their award-winning waitstaff, great food, fun, and laughter. It's a quick stop on the way home to sit back and unwind. It's a front row seat to the big game. Roosters is where you, your family, and friends can order pizzas, sandwiches, salads, and more. And the home of award-winning wings that are fresh, never frozen, and so big you won't believe it. It's your family's other dinner table. Roosters, a fun, casual joint, and the official wing sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Your home of the Buckeyes. The Fan. Your home for Buckeye basketball. This is the Jake Diebler Show, presented by Roosters on the Ohio State Sports Network. Presented by the Ohio State Wexner Medical Center, the team physicians for Ohio State athletics.
The Foundation is operating a 50-50 raffle at each Ohio State home men's basketball game this season, with proceeds supporting community-based NIL opportunities and the Foundation charities. For more information on how you can participate, visit the Foundation social media channels. And welcome back to our show this week with Ohio State coach Diebler. The Buckeyes will be at home Thursday hosting Northwestern. One of the topics and some of the things we talk about during a commercial break, I wanted to ask you about this past weekend, the annual captain's dinner, and former captains not only on Saturday night spending time with your current day players, but also they're acknowledged at halftime during the basketball game. If you would just talk about the importance of the guys wearing the uniforms now, talking to the guys like Ron who used to wear the uniforms.
I believe one of the best things that I can do as a coach is surround our current team with guys who played in this program, men who have gone on to do unbelievable things, sometimes certainly on the court as professionals, but beyond the court, and celebrate the rich tradition, the high level success, the championship tradition of this program. I think I like it. I'm so committed to doing that for our players because I think it's so impactful, and there's not a better night in the year than the former captain's dinner, and all the former captains that are there, they get a chance to say something to our guys. I mean, it's like multiple pregame speeches. I'm being serious. Like it's unbelievable. Like I left that night wanting to go straight to the shot and start the game. I mean, it was incredible. But even more than that, the care factor of just we had people fly in from all over the country to be there. Like, it wasn't like just people from Columbus were there. Like, former players came from all over the country to be there. It's so valuable for our guys. I wish we could do it once a month. I mean, it's incredible. But anytime our former players come around, they should be celebrated. They're a critical part of our program and will be a critical part of this program moving forward. Our doors are always open to them when they're here. I want them talking to our players, engaging with our players. I think it's so important, Paul.
It's enjoyable for me too, Paul, because as our years of broadcasting this game, minus the guys that were in the early 90s, everybody there, I had called their games, and it was just really refreshing to hear someone like Jayshawn Tate, who's back because of the All-Star game with the NBA, and he got celebrated at his high school, getting his number retired. But this was his first captain's dinner, and just hearing his emotion, and it just echoes the importance of what you just said, Coach, about how important it is in the family and building that.
Yeah, we really do. And again, I witnessed it in pockets, right? You see kind of decades of groups of guys who were so close. Saw it with my brother's group when they were here. And I just thought to myself, how do we even take that to another level? It's already existed to some degree. I mean, you have relationships with some guys that that weren't part of your era. But I've just wanted to be intentional about how do we even take it to another level where the multiple eras are together and they're interacting and they're supporting each other, and then that engagement being with our guys and our guys understanding like this program. There are some high-level people and high-level teams that have come before you, and you owe it to them every time you put on the jersey to play a certain way. You're not going to play perfect, but your effort, your intent, your competitiveness, like there's a standard, and we've fought so hard, and I really feel, Ron, like we've established a toughness and a competitiveness and a together. Like our guys are playing hard, and what better way to echo that, and drive that home than to having our former players around.
We'll talk more when we continue with our weekly show presented by Roosters on the Ohio State Sports Network from Learfield.
Hey, Buckeye Nation, Paul Keels here for my other favorite nation, Window Nation. If you're a fan of scoring, you're going to love this. Window Nation is going nuts with an incredible offer just for you. Buy 2 windows, get 2 windows free plus 0 down and 0 payments with 0 interest for 2 years. And if you order a full house of windows, you'll be part of a full house at the Shoe with tickets to a Buckeye game. Call Window Nation today at 866-90-NATION or visit them online at windownation.com. Tell them Paul sent you for the Buckeyes Full House Special.
Hey, Ohio State fan, are you ready for game day? Get hyped and get your crew going with the Buckeye Meal at BK. For $20, you'll get 1 juicy flame grilled Whopper sandwich, 1 original chicken sandwich, 2 mouthwatering cheeseburgers, 3 crispy golden small fries, and 3 refreshing small drinks. Grab your $20 Buckeye Meal today and share the taste of victory. At BK, have it your way. You rule. Limited time only at participating Ohio area restaurants. Tax extra. BK is a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Union Home Mortgage knows Buckeye fans never leave Ohio State behind. We've helped millions of first-time home buyers get into their dream home through our 1% down payment program. Put as little as 1% down, and UHM tosses in up to 2% on the house. Learn more at UHM.com or call 877-846-4968. Union Home Mortgage Corp is an equal housing opportunity lender. NMLS number 2229. UHM will contribute up to 2% down, no greater than $2,000 towards a 3% down payment. Home buyers responsible for the remainder of the down payment. This offer is available for the purchase of a primary residence only. For full terms and conditions, visit UHM.com.
At Ohio State, we are the never afraid to innovate teams, the agile, get it done teams, the achieve more together teams, and the improve people's lives teams. Together, we are the Ohio State University.
Learn more about Ohio State at osu.edu/impact.
It's Toyota truck and all-wheel drive season with more all-wheel drive choices than anyone else, including all-wheel drive versions of the best-selling Corolla. Now through March 3rd, get low-rate financing on a Corolla or lease a gas-powered 25 Corolla LE for $229 a month for 39 months with $32.99 due at signing. With approved credit through TFS, tax, title, and license extra. Call 1-888-36-TOYOTA for details or go to toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Giant Eagle is teaming up with Cheez-It, Pringles, and Coca-Cola to give one lucky Buckeye fan a VIP basketball experience. Go to ohiostatebuckeyes.com/Giant Eagle to enter for a chance to win 4 tickets with parking to the March 4th home finale against Nebraska, a Buckeye prize pack, a $200 Giant Eagle gift card, and a trip to the head coach's radio show. Enter today at ohiostatebuckeyes.com/Giant Eagle for a chance to win. Brought to you by Giant Eagle, Cheez-It, Pringles, and Coca-Cola. Go Bucks!
AgPro has been family-owned and operated for over 64 years. We take pride in developing long-lasting relationships and offering first-class customer service. Need a new tractor, parts for your used equipment, or reliable service? AgPro has you covered. AgPro is here to serve you and your operation as your hometown dealer. Visit us today at any of our AgPro locations or go online to agproco.com to get started with your AgPro experience.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. You're listening to the Jake Diebler Show, presented by Roosters on the Ohio State Sports Network. Presented by the Ohio State Wexner Medical Center, the team physicians for Ohio State Athletics.
Buckeyes are known for paying it forward. That's why Buckeyes Care strives to serve the betterment of our community by positively impacting families across Ohio. Joint partners American Electric Power, Kroger, Donato's, the Ohio State Wexner Medical Center, the James Cancer Hospital, Huntington Bank, and WBNS-TV in Columbus, and supporting this cause at ohiostatebuckeyes.com/Buckeyes Care. And welcome back to our show this week with Ohio State coach Jake Diebler. We'll go to another of our Union Home Mortgage inbox list of questions and can kind of guess what the answer would be, but it comes from Sam in Cleveland. Knowing that you want to win them all, but do you look at the upcoming schedule and kind of map out games you know you need to have to make the NCAA tournament?
I think certainly this time of year, every game is really important, right? And every game is meaningful. And some can hurt you more than others. Some can help you more than others. But, the most important thing is to give the next game your full attention and focus because you need it. I mean, that's just kind of the way we're approaching it. Certainly, I know the implication, like all that goes into right this time of year in these games, and because we've done some really good things this year, it's every game is really important. So, but that's kind of the approach. I don't think you can look too far. Not in this league. Maybe there's some other leagues out there where you can look out and be like, ooh, okay, we feel really good about this league. Every single game, you can't look ahead. You got to give this next game your absolute best.
When you look at some of the coaches and teams that have already done their West Coast swing, what have you learned? Any things that you feel that you could tweak or change to prepare for this long stretch?
Yeah, I've learned some really hate it. Some like it more than others, and it seems to be very specifically related to the results. Right.
I haven't looked at the records. So.
I think what's different, right, is being away. Regardless of where you are, being away with more time being away in between games. That's what we're not used to ultimately, right? We've been on long flights. We went out to Vegas. We played well. Like, it's not quite as far, but close enough. I think the difference is going to be us being away from our own beds and our own facility for multiple days leading into a game and then another game. That's just going to be different. So we're doing some things to try to, I think keep it fresh, right? Make sure we're still recovering and everything we need to do. What we do kind of in between there is going to be important. But, I've been talking to and again, I had a great conversation with Kevin McGuff when he got back, and he shared some thoughts. So, he was the first person I reached out to because we're making the same trip.
And this is longer, really, than a singular NCAA tournament trip, too.
Yeah, we'll be out there. We'll be out there for a little bit. But I think, listen, you just got to embrace the new landscape. I mean, say what you want. It's not going away. So, we're going to embrace it. We're going to do everything we can to, get our guys in the right mindset and get our guys physically ready to be their best.
Coach, you mentioned it. Congratulations to Coach Izzo, but what an accomplishment to be in one place, one time, national champion and legendary coach.
Oh, it's awesome. It's awesome. It defies the norm. I think and that's really cool to see, and the consistency, that he's operated with is. It's been incredible.
And how about the way he seems to link to all of the other coaches in the conference? It's something that as we watch it, we see all of you talking down on the floor when the games start and the games end, but he seems to be a guy that really has a great handle of that.
Yeah, well, I think, he's seen so much, right? And I don't want to speak for him, but I just get the sense that he, considers himself almost like a steward of Big Ten basketball, and just he's earned that right, to be kind of in that position.
There's another name for that. He's the OG.
That's right. I like that.
He OG of coaching in the Big Ten.
He is. So I think he's earned everybody's, like you'd be a fool not to respect him and reach out to him when given an opportunity to learn. He's done an unbelievable job.
You've been so good about acknowledging the crowds all year. How was yesterday in your mind?
The best. It was the best one, and that's another reason why I'm disappointed we didn't get the result we wanted, because I wanted that for our fans who showed up. And when I got to the office yesterday morning, wasn't a blizzard, and then it looked like out the window at one point it was, and for people to show up and bring the energy like they did, I wanted it for them too. But hopefully people saw how impactful it can be and what it can mean, because it was impactful in us getting that game to where the position we were in down the stretch, because we had some lulls at times. But man, that was a fun environment. That was a high level game. I mean, just the back and forth, the scoring. That was a really high level game, and our fans deserved it, and they can have an impact on us having some more of those. Certainly.
Yeah, Coach, fight for those weekend games next year, please.
I'm going to start getting in trouble at some point for how hard I've been fighting for that, but I will continue that fight. There's no question about it, because it matters.
Well, and we voiced it as well in our forums,
None
too.
In January. On road or home?
Yeah. Anyway,
That's another
Northwestern.
show.
we'll move
It's
on.
another show, Ron.
How
That's another
about
show.
a word on Northwestern? You've got that coming in Thursday.
Really good coach. Really good coach. Team that's tough. Play well together. Been through some adversity. But you look at their games, like they're right there. They're right there. Got a great deal of respect for Chris Collins. We have to get ready to play really well.
Thank you as always. We appreciate it, and we look forward to seeing you here Thursday.
All right. Thanks, guys. Go Bucks.
Thanks for listening to today's show, presented by Roosters and brought to you statewide by Encova Insurance, the American Dairy Association Mideast, and by Credit Union of Ohio. Join us Thursday night as Ohio State hosts Northwestern. Our pregame coverage begins at 5:45 p.m. For Skip Mossick, Colin Behringer, Ron Stokes, and Coach Jake Diebler, this is Paul Keels. Thanks for listening. This is the Ohio State Sports Network, presented by the Ohio State Wexner Medical Center, the team physicians for Ohio State athletics.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
Attention hockey fans, score the ultimate experience powered by Verizon.
Verizon is giving 2 lucky winners the chance to win 4 tickets to the 2025 Navy Federal Credit Union NHL Stadium Series at Ohio Stadium on March 1st. Plus, 50 participants will have a chance to win a $50 gift card. Just stop by a participating Columbus Verizon store by February 18th to enter.
Get your shot at this unforgettable experience. Hurry to a participating Columbus Verizon store today to enter.
Must be legal U.S. resident of Ohio, age 18 years or older to enter. Void where prohibited. For official rules and full details, visit 971thefan.com/Verizon. Master Grillers Unite. The grilling season never ends at Billiards Plus. Come see their best-in-class grills for yourself and check out Central Ohio's largest selection of pool tables, game furniture, and shuffleboard. Family-owned and operated. Billiards Plus on Dublin Center Drive in Dublin.
Bo Bishop here. High Bank Distillery Co. is the most awarded distillery in America at the 2024 San Francisco World Spirits Competition. Stop by your local liquor store to grab a bottle, or the 3 restaurant locations in Gahanna, Grandview, or Westerville. Dine, drink, distill at High Bank.
Hey Ohio, Prime Sports has arrived, the only book where you can lay 108 instead of 110 on all your favorite teams. Football, baseball, basketball, hockey, you name it. Why would you risk more to win the same amount at another sports book? Download the Prime Sports Ohio app or visit our website, primesportsbook.com. Use promo code JUSTSPORTS. Get a welcome bonus up to $100 and be a member of the Prime Sports family.
Terms and conditions apply. Visit website for details. Must be 21 or older and present in Ohio. If you or anyone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Go beyond your field of study and get a world-class education in leadership. As an Army officer, you'll work side by side with peers who support your growth, and you'll become a role model, mentor, and decision maker in any environment, at any scale. It's a challenging path, but along the way, you'll sharpen your skills and show yourself and those around you exactly what you're capable of. Decide to lead at goarmy.com/officer.
The Ohio State University Army